Good morning, guys. Welcome to another trading session. Well, today it is a Wednesday pre-NFP. First of all, I hope you're doing great. I hope you guys are fine, and I hope that you guys will implement your NFP's week protocol. Since today is Wednesday, this should be the last day that you should trade before NFP. New York AM sessions should be the last session that you should trade here. So let's look at the charts and let's see what we can expect from today's price action. Well, previous day low was already taken here before the opening at 9:30. Asia just had some kind of a consolidation, as you can see here, some kind of a downtrend in form of a consolidation. London manipulated to the upside, and then we had our expansion to the downside. This is just like a accumulation, as you can see here. Let me just grab these boxes here. It's some type of a manipulation. Just why is it not working here? Yeah, well, but here is your consolidation, here is your manipulation. The manipulation, I want it to be, I don't know why I don't have these boxes fulfilled. Let me just grab another one. Okay, now this one will probably work. So this is just the example of this is the manipulation. Then you have the consolidation here, which I will mark as yellow, and then you have your expansion, which I will mark as green. So this is some kind of AMD, accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. Some guys just trade these straightforward. I just use this as reference. I don't use it as a trading scheme or something like that, or trading strategy. But this one was quite clear, as you can see. The accumulation, the manipulation to the upside, and then the distribution. Previous day low was already taken. We are in a deep discount below midnight open, below the 8:30 open, and we just opened at 9:30 a.m. So price opened right here at the top. So this is our 9:30 open, as you can see here. And down below, we have still sell side as Monday's low. We have event horizon as well. Notice how price just break through the end walk, retested it, came to the midnight open, and then distributed to the downside, and is now facing the event horizon. So event horizon is the midpoint in between end walks. As you can see here, there is another end walk down here. So what we can eventually expect from today's price action is, I would like to see how price reacts as soon as it takes sell side Monday low. If price takes sell side and Monday low and starts to react to the upside, I will eventually wait for some kind of a bullish structure in a form of a breaker or an inversion of a fair value gap, or if it comes to the downside, takes the Monday low, and eventually does not give us that bullish structure, I will consider price to come to this end wall down here below. We have to keep in mind that we still have 10 a.m. news as well. This is a red folder news as well. So I will probably wait for 10 a.m. to see what price wants to do. If you look at the 4 hour, I will wait for another 4 hour candle formation as well, because it usually gives us a more clear perspective of what price wants to do. So I think I will wait about 30 minutes and then decide what price wants to do. We have a bearish fair value gap here. This is not the let me just check here. Yeah, the 9:30 open, I think I got it wrong. Yeah, this is not 9:30 open. 9:30 open is here. So this is not the first presented fair value gap, because the first presented fair value gap is the one after 9:30. You cannot consider the 9:30 candle as a first presented fair value gap. You should wait for a candle after 9:30. So right now, the only thing that we can do right now is to wait and see what price really wants to do. This is a bearish fair value gap on the 15-minute. This is a big one here. Inside of it, we have this order block and eventually this one as well here. It seems logical for price to come here and eventually retest this order block. But if price is really heavy, it might not come to this part of the fair value gap and come down straight to Monday low and event horizon. But yeah, it's a tricky day when price just expands prior to the 9:30 opening bell, because there are two situations that can eventually happen when price just expands before 9:30 open. Number one is we can eventually consolidate, and price can eventually start a consolidation because the expansion is almost done, or we can eventually continue the expansion because we still have some sell side here below. And there's a third one, which is a retrace to the upside, or some kind of a inversion to the upside. Since we are 2 days ahead of NFP, I can eventually consider, I cannot consider a continuation to the downside for this end walk, only if price really wants to deliver to the downside. Then I will consider a continuation to the downside. Otherwise, I will eventually wait for some kind of a consolidation or eventually a retrace to the upside. But I guess 10 a.m. news will eventually give us more clues. And as soon as we take the Monday low, it should be clearer for us. Right now, price just respected this bearish fair value gap and is now taking Monday low as expected. So right now we want to see what price wants to do, because this was the low-hanging fruit and the most logical drawn liquidity since price was here, and now we want to see what price really wants to do. If it wants to continue to the downside, or if we can have some kind of a retrace to the upside, or just a consolidation. But as of now, price is really giving us bearish momentum. There is nothing bullish here. This is the first presented fair value gap. We already have it. So there we go. The first presented fair value gap is presented. And price came right below the event horizon. If we look at the regular trading hours, you can see that we have a massive opening range gap. It's a gap of about 63, 66 candles. And whenever you have a opening range that big, price can eventually not come back to fulfill it. So we can eventually expect price to stay like that and to continue its way to the downside. So let's see if price really wants to come down to this and walk down here, or if we just start to consolidate or eventually retrace. But as of now, price is just offering us sell side and is just coming to the downside. No bullish, no nothing. NQ already took previous day low as well, Monday's low as well, and the 25th, so Friday's low as well. Yeah, it's taking right now. It's taking it, and ES is taking it as well. Price continues its way to the downside here, not giving us any opportunity to engage with. So if you look at the 4 hour, the 4 hour is taking everything that is sell side right now violently. And it seems now clear that price really wants to reach for the next end walk. So I would consider the next end walk here as the next drawn liquidity. This shaded area here, this big one, should be our next drawn liquidity on liquidity. Since we are waiting for 10 a.m. news, there's not much we can do. The only thing, if you really would like to engage on price, and if you don't mind to engage with price before news, this should be the only entry available for you. As soon as price retraced to this fair value gap here, there's a clean sell here, a clean short setup. But since we are waiting for 10 a.m. news, I guess we cannot do much here. ES is already down 2% on the day. And let me just check here the candle ranges, the candle sizes. Yeah, this was a nice stretch to the downside. On the 4-hour on the 4-hour, we can see that we are entering in a bullish fair value gap area, but there is no reaction on the lower time frame, so we are just displacing to the downside. Price seems really heavy because we are leaving bearish fair value gaps unfilled, so there is no intention for price to retrace here. We have one here, we have another one here. So let's see if price can reach this fair value gap here. If you would like to interact with price prior to news, this should eventually be a setup here. I will not take this trade because I said that I will wait for 10 a.m. news. This is just a schematic here. Let me just check the 3 minutes. Notice how price just respected the upper band of the fair value gap. So this can indicate us that price wants to respect the bearish order flow. Let me just grab my fib projection and see where price is as well. So if we take it from the top, the last yeah, this is not the best example here. But if we take it here, we might get another idea where price is. As you can see here, this is the 830 Judah swing here, and the projection is quite clear. Price stopped. The first stop was at the -2.5 standard deviation with a retrace to -1.5, and then price continued its way to the downside. We can eventually stretch. These projections here. So let me put it on -5, and eventually -6. So there's a major confluence here. -6 actually has some confluence with the NWOG. As you can see here, -4. Price is stopping right at the -4. So between minus 2.5, minus 4, this is just a massive push to the downside. The next logical stop should be minus 5 and then minus 6. But usually when price reaches minus 4 and eventually minus 5, we can eventually expect some major retraces back to minus 2.5. That's why I did not take this trade here, and that's why I'm waiting for 10 a.m. news. This was just a schematic for if price really wants to continue, this should act as a real resistance, and it's not working right now. So probably we are trying to retrace a little bit to the upside, or eventually form an order block. If you look at the 15-minute, we have a bullish order block, a bearish order block right here, right at these levels, next to the first presented fair value gap. So it should be acceptable for price to retrace back to the first presented fair value gap, or eventually at the event horizon, and then come back down. But we will have to wait for it and see if price really wants to do that. Right now, we just have to let price do its thing and work its way. There is not much we can do right now, since we have 10 a.m. news as well, so we should wait. Since we are in a pre-NFP session, which is the Wednesday pre-NFP, we cannot expect much from price, honestly. We should be cautious with price action. So right now, this fair value gap didn't hold as we expected, but it got inverted. It came back to its original position, and now we will probably continue our move, because this is now an order block as well. These 3 candles are an order block, so if we can eventually close below if we can eventually close below this one, we have our order block formed, and we will probably have a bearish setup. Notice how we inverted this bullish fair value gap as well here quite easily. Price still struggling to close below the order block, as you can see. We still have 7 minutes before news. But we are progressing below the order block now. So any retrace back to the order block should offer us some kind of a bearish setup. If we didn't have the 10 a.m. news, I would probably take this trade, but since we have 10 a.m. news, I prefer to wait for it and get things a little bit more clearer. Are struggling a bit to progress down below the order block. But as you can see, this is just a schematic. I'm not taking this trade, honestly, because we are some minutes, we are still 4 minutes before 10 a.m. news, and I want to wait for it until we eventually take some action. I don't like to interact with price before news. But so far, at this point, we should take our stop to break even. There is no need for price to come back to the order block, and eventually wait for price to reach the end wall here. It's kind of a shame that, honestly, we had 10 a.m. news. Otherwise, I would have taken this trade. but it is what it is. We just have to keep ourselves disciplined, and we just have to, as traders, we just have to respect our trading rules. At this point, you could eventually take some profits as well, because you would have a bit more than 1 hour already. But yeah, price did a really good follow through here. It just formed a 1 minute bearish order block here, as you can see. Then just displaced to the downside. So we have still 1 minute to 10 a.m. news. And there we go. News, 10 a.m. Let's see if we can eventually respect this bearish fair value gap. Remember that I told you to put your stop at break even. And at this point, you would be eventually stopped out. But you would have taken partials already too, so there was no problem. So this is a inverted fair value gap here. Price is really digging to the upside. The first fair value gap, price just stopped at -5 standard deviation. The first, the last bearish fair value gap was invalidated, was kind of inverted. We retouched this bearish fair value gap, and we are now retesting the order block. If price really starts to displace to the upside, inverting this order block, I would aim eventually for a retrace to the upside, because it would give us that bullish structure as a breaker here. But we will have to wait and see if it really comes, if all these pieces come together, or if price just continues to the downside. So right now, this inverted fair value gap is kind of holding. Looking at the 15-minute fair value gap, at the 15-minute chart, we have, I will just note it here. So this is the new bearish 15-minute fair value gap. I will just put it just like this. And the 4-hour, in order to take some bullish action here, I really would like to see a sweep of the 4-hour candle, of the low of the 4-hour. So the low of the 4-hour candle is the one right here. Is this? This is the sell side liquidity as 4-hour candle, or our candle low. So if price comes down here, takes this low and then explodes to the upside, then I would eventually take some bullish action. Otherwise, it can eventually start to consolidate here. But for now, this inverted fair value gap is holding, as you can see. But there is no, I would say there is no setup that we can frame here. We have this bearish 15-minute fair value gap. The order block inside this bearish fair value gap is right here, right next to the first presented fair value gap here. The price is trying to push a little bit higher. But as I said before, I would like to see a sweep of this 4-hour candle low to engage in something bullish, because I'm not comfortable to engage in something bullish having the low of the previous candle to be purged. That cannot give me any security about what price wants to do, so it can eventually continue to I don't know, to consolidate here. And that's why I'm demanding it from the market. Once again, price retested the inverted fair value gap, reacted in a bullish way. Let's see if we have some follow through. Yep, price trying to get out of this mess here, but right above it we have the 15-minute bearish fair value gap, which can frighten us a little bit. And we have to keep in mind that we still have the NWOG to touch. Usually the NWOG acts as a magnet on price, so it feels kind of odd here when price just stopped right above the NWOG, not even touching it. Gives me the sensation that, or the feeling that price is trying to trick us. Looking at NQ, let me just check NQ and try to see what NQ is doing. Seems like NQ is being a little bit more aggressive to the upside. It has a bit more strength here. ES is not acting like NQ. I'm just looking at the last hourly candle, and on the hourly candle we have some kind of an SMT with NQ. NQ took the sell side from the previous hourly candle, and ES didn't. So the same is applied to the 4-hour candle as well. Yeah, we probably have some kind of an SMT here with NQ. That's why price is digging to the upside, and that's why ES did not came for the sell side liquidity as the 4-hour candle low. Meanwhile, NQ is touching the order block on the 15-minute. So I'm expecting eventually to ES follow its steps. So looking at the opening range gap, we have this gap here, which seems like price wants to reach for it right now. But let's see if price wants to retest this breaker here and look for a move to the upside. So a logical entry should be something like this. So the breaker should be these 3 candles here. Taking the first one as entry. And this gives us a 11 handle stop, which can be a position with 3 minis. Looking at the opening range gap, if we would aim to 50% of it, we could eventually try the 830 open as our drawn liquidity right now. Is right here, but we have our low hanging fruit, which is 930 open. So let's see if we can have this position fulfilled here. Yeah, price did not came to our entry. That's a shame, because it was just a 0.05 difference in the opening price of the long position. Let's see if it comes back or if it just continues to the upside. Yeah, that was really a shame here. Price did not come to our entry. I really put my entry just some ticks above the breaker, but it didn't reach it. So right now price is facing the event horizon here, as you can see, which is the first line of resistance. Then after the event horizon, we should face some resistance at the first presented fair value gap as well, right here. Just notice how price behaved when we reached 950 to 1010, which is the macro. So 950 to 1010, how price behaved. It just generated some kind of a inversion here. That's what usually the macros do, and we can eventually expect a continuation of this macro until the next macro. So I will note this here, 1050. So in normal conditions, this move should reach or should stop eventually at 1050. So right now, I would like to see price displaced to the upside, leaving the first presented fair value gap behind. Look how price just get rid of the event horizon as well. So it seems clearer and clearer that price wants to come to this high here, the 930. This fair value gap should give us no worries here. This one should eventually give us some worries here. Should eventually concern us a bit. Yeah, but price is just grinding higher. It will not deliver to our entry. We just I guess I just lost this train. My entry was kind of too precise, and eventually sometimes as traders we cannot demand movements that precise. We should eventually let the market do things with some type of a non-precise way. Let me just check here the 3 minute. Yeah, honestly, I was expecting a purge of the sell side here, the low of the 4-hour candle, and honestly I didn't notice that NQ had it purged already, so it gave us an SMT, and usually when we have an SMT, then price will just go, just run. And that's why I did not enter the trade right here when we were inverting and we were retesting this inverted fair value gap here. I was still expecting some kind of manipulation to the downside, taking out this low, and did not notice that NQ already have done it. Then I tried to engage with price here right at the breaker, but I guess I was, let me just check how many points I was away from it, from the entry. So I was 0.75, not even a tick, not even a handle, 0.75. And yeah, price will just go straight to the low-hanging fruit, which is this high here. And as soon as it takes this high, then we will probably have some kind of a retrace. I would like to see some kind of a retrace before taking this high here, or eventually this one. That should give us some kind of an entry. But I don't think that will happen, honestly. Yeah, as you can see, price is just running right now. So I'm still content about my read from price, but it was kind of a shame that I lost this train. I can eventually expect 8:30 open as well. That the lower hanging fruit should be 9:30 open. This was a clean run to the upside. On the 3-minute, we just have an order block, and the order block is around here. I don't think that price will come back to this order block here, honestly. So NQ already break through the order block on the 15-minute and is entering the bearish fair value gap on the 15-minute. ES is a bit weaker and is still working that order block on the 15-minute. And above it, we have the 15-minute fair value gap that you can see here. This one should take a lot more to convert. So retrace is starting here. Let's see if we can manage a retrace and still above and still hang above the first presented for value gap here. We still have 930 as well. I want to see how price reacts as soon as we retest if this one here, right here, the first presented for value gap. The price starts to tumble below it, then I would eventually not consider a continuation of the rally. Just see where price is, taking a fib here. So price just stopped right at the -2 standard deviation. As soon as we hit -2 or eventually -2.5, we can eventually expect some kind of a retrace, and those retraces eventually happen to -1 and eventually -0.5. So it is permissible for price to come eventually to -1. So -1 would have some confluence with the 3-minute order block as well. But I honestly would not like to see price losing its first presented fair value gap. At this point, I will take this out from here. We'll take this out as well. And the rest I can leave it. I will take this limit order out as well. Yeah, nice reaction from the first presented fair value gap. See how we have some confluence with the -4 standard deviation. It's right to the point, and it has a lot of confluence with 830 open. Another retest here. ES is entering here the -1 standard deviation. So let's see if we can get an entry here on this type of retrace, or if price really wants to dig lower now. But I'm still expecting it higher, honestly. Yeah, nice retrace here from the first presented fair value gap. Notice how we did not lose the first presented fair value gap, as I said before, and now we are displacing to the upside. Event Horizon held the price here as well. Yes, working on once again the order block on the 15 minutes, but it should eventually pass through it. Another retrace here back to this fair value gap, the bullish one. This fair value gap should hold. And this could eventually be another entry here. To 830. This time price stopped right at -2 standard deviation. It left a bullish fair value gap here, which is now being retested. Well, the 15-minute ES is still on its order block, so that's why I'm not willing to engage it. NQ is already outside the order block. It passed through it. And notice how we are approaching as well the next macro. So things can be, right now, things can be a little bit tricky since we are at -2 standard deviation, approaching the next macro, which can eventually mark the end of the rally. We are inside the 15-minute order block as well. Things can get a bit tricky here, but I believe that we still will continue to the upside. Yeah. Let's see if price can do another run to the upside here. We are approaching 11 a.m., which is that time of the morning where price will start to lose some kind of its fuel as well. And yeah, seems like we will not go through and see a new high. ES was not willing to go through the order block on the 15 minutes. It reacted in a nice way here, leaving this bullish for value gap. But right now, things are not so good as we saw earlier. So I guess there are two things that can happen, or we continue to consolidate here inside the order block, or eventually we will go down, taking all the liquidity that's right here below us, below where price is now. Stop was too tight here. So let's see if we have a continuation to the upside. Seems like it. Notice how we are inside the new macro, 1052, 1110. But we are in a tricky area here, which is the -2 standard deviation. We are inside the 15-minute order block as well. NQ just suppressed the order block, it retested the order block and suppressed it. So I guess ES will do some kind of a run to the upside. That's what I'm expecting right now. We have 930 open here. We are inside of the macro. Just let me push this to the upside. And we have 830 open here. Yeah, price once again coming down. below the the fair value gap. Seems like we reached a time of the day where price will just do its own thing. It should not do this. It should go straight to the upside and move to the upside. There is some follow through right now, but I want to see price come outside of this bearish fair value gap here. I would not like to see price return back down. Yes, really having some hard time to get out of the order block on the 15-minute, as you can see. Just giving some time to the price action to see if it really wants you to come out of this fair value gap. The problem here is that we have 930 open acting as resistance here, and eventually this big fair value gap that I said before, that this one would be the biggest trouble that price will have to face in this rally. This is the big resistance here. Another push to the upside. Now we have displacement. That's this is what I was expecting to see. Price stopped right at the minus 2.5 standard deviation. Retraced right back down. Now I just would like to see a follow through taking out the liquidity here. There's imbalances. We have a lot of imbalances here on our left side. So we'll give the market some more time. At this point, price can eventually suffer some kind of a retrace, bigger one and a harsher one, since we are at minus 2.5 standard deviation. But I hope to see price stay above 930 open and above this per value gap as well, since we have all these imbalances here. I will mark this order block as well, which is a 1 minute order block inside the 15-minute per value gap, and we have another one here. So these are points of resistance here. Price now trying to hold above 930 open. We still have 4 minutes before 11:10. So the macro is almost ending as well. But I guess we will at least reach this first order block here. And as soon as it reaches here, I will see how price reacts to it. There we go, price is trying to reach it. Let me just check how we are on the opening range gap. Yeah, we are inside of it, but we still have some room to the upside. It will probably reach the 25% of it. Let me just see, where is it? So 25% of it. Yeah, it should be around the second order block that I marked here. This one right here. This is the 25% of the opening range gap, and the 50% should be around 8:30 open. So we are reaching the first order block here on the 1 minute, the midpoint of the 15-minute fair value gap as well. On this position, I will not take partials, because leaving a partial or leaving a runner here, it's about 1/3 of the position. So it's a lot for a runner. 1/3 of the position. Your runner should be about 10% of your position, or eventually 20%, not 1/3 of it. And since we are at the end of the macro and reaching the midpoint as well of the 15-minute fair value gap, we should consider to take some action here. The price is trying to get above the order block, but not reaching for it. And if it gives me another push to the upside, I will probably cut this position. There we go. So we should be content with enough. Honestly, I'm still expecting a bit more upside, at least this order block here, and eventually 830 open. But we must have in mind that price can eventually do some kind of a retrace as well, and I'm not willing to let price do that kind of retrace. So that's why I just closed it here, and will eventually leave it right as it is. So resuming the New York AM session here, I can resume it as it was a shame that our limit order didn't get fulfilled here. Was 0.75 way below. So if I could have taken my long here, it would be a great position, but honestly it didn't work. Then here I got subbed out. Price did a retrace, and eventually I should have put my stop right below this candle, not this one. This was a mistake of my this was a technical mistake, honestly. Should have placed my stop right below here and not below this one. So I got stopped out here, but re-entered as soon as I saw another displacement, and then eventually caught this move to the upside here. I did not enter here. This should be the most logical and most accurate thing that you should aim. But I did not enter here because I was expecting another purge of the sell side 4-hour candle low, but did not notice that NQ already had done it. So honestly, it was a shame that I did not enter here, but I must be content with enough, honestly. I think I had a good read of price action. Was waiting for 10 a.m. news to give us some more clean read of price, and as soon as I get a good read of price, I just put my first limit order here, but it did not fulfilled, and then I just try to catch the movement here. As soon as I saw that the first presented per value gap was holding as a support, I mistakenly placed my stop below this candle instead of this one. Got subbed out and eventually re-entered and was able to profit on this leg to the upside here. Was not a perfect day, but it was a good day, so I think I'm content with it, honestly. And with this, I guess we are approaching the 2-hour mark on the stream. Yes, we are. We are also right after 11 a.m. So I guess this will do the end of the stream. It has nothing. We have nothing else to do right now. Here, looking at the charts, it will probably keep running to the upside. But since I'm waiting for some kind of a harsh retrace, it will probably It will probably happen near lunch hour. I will not wait for it, honestly. That's why I will probably end my stream here. I hope you guys learned something today, and I hope that this was kind of helpful in some type of way. For those watching, all I'm asking is give me a thumbs up and a like, and eventually, if you like this type of streams, follow me. I will be here almost every day. Keep in mind that tomorrow is the 1st of May. It is a European holiday, so if you're trying to trade London, the London session, I would advise you to not do it. It will be a low volume day for sure, so try not to engage with London. If you want to engage with New York AM session, well, the protocol of an NFP week says that you should not do that. I will be here streaming, mostly tape reading, so probably I will just engage with the markets if I see something very clear, and that's it. I think that's it. Follow me on my socials as well. I will put some content there. You can follow me on Twitch as well. I'm streaming there as well. So yeah, that's it. I guess see you tomorrow and have a nice afternoon. Thank you.